and welcome to this Coffee with Careers session that we're doing this morning, just to introduce you to ourselves or some of the people that work for USW Careers, and also to introduce you to our services, and also hopefully how we can help you and assist you during your university journey. So well, let's start by introducing ourselves. So my name's David. I'm the careers advisor, primarily for the Faculty of Creative Industries. And my colleagues who are also with me, shall I introduce you guys, or do you want to introduce yourselves?
Should we introduce ourselves?
Go for it. I'll introduce you.
I'll go for it. So I'm Alison Hoban, and I'm also a careers advisor like Dave, and I tend to take the lead with the business school. So again, like Dave, I'm sat here with my coffee, ready to talk to you today.
Bex.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Rebecca Richards, known as Bex. I'm an employability advisor, and I sit in two faculties, being LSC, Life Sciences and Education, and KES, Computer and Engineering and Science. And I'm Gold Kappa as well.
Bex is all over the faculties. So as I said, this session this morning is just kind of like a brief informal session just to introduce you to what we do, how we can hopefully help you, and how we can hopefully assist you during your studies. If you do have any questions during the course of this, feel free to post in the chat box, and we'll do our best to answer them. But I suppose you might be considering, or you might be thinking at this stage, why should I be thinking about careers, or why should I even be looking at this as an option when I've just literally started my university journey today? And that's very individual. So some of you may be completely focused on what you want to do. Some of you may have absolutely no idea whatsoever. But wherever you are on your journey in terms of your kind of career goals or your career aims, our aim is to help you with that. So if you know exactly what you want to do, or you know the exact direction that you want to go in, then I'd recommend that you book in to speak to us or use our services or our resources to help you achieve that goal that you're aiming for. If you don't know what you want to do, that's absolutely fine. It's not an issue. I'm not going to give you 0 out of 10 on your assignment for that, so it's fine. But again, it might just be that you start thinking about how you might want to use this to actually get guidance or advice to help you on your way in terms of your career direction or your journey. So it might be, some of you might want information about a particular job. Some of you might just want help with getting your CV up to scratch. Some of you might be keen to look for work experience. Others might be interested at their freelance options. All those sorts of things, USW Careers is there to help you with. So I'd say now is probably the time to start being as proactive as you can be in terms of planning for the future, but also to get excited about both your university journey and also getting excited about exploring the potential route to your eventual career as well. So that's my introduction and my intro little gambits. Hopefully that all makes sense. But again, use this as and when if you need to over the course of your studies. I've been reminded by our IT whiz behind the scenes, Helen, to tell you about the competition that we're currently running. So just we'll try and mention this a few times throughout the session that we do this morning. We're currently running a session which is called Capture Your Career. Where you can win, I think it is, guys, up to £500 worth of kit. That's it, isn't it? And you might have to, Bex, remind me of the process. I think they have to take a picture of their career, if that makes sense.
Yeah, their chosen career path, I think it is.
So take a picture of their chosen career path. They put the hashtag USW Capture 2020. You tag us at USW Careers, whether that's via Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it might be, and that will put you in the chance to win up to £500 worth of IT kit. That is correct, isn't it, guys? I've got that right.
Yeah, that's right. And if you want to find out a bit more, then you can go to our website, USW Careers, and on the front page, there's lots more information about Capture Your Career.
So Helen's brought up the page there, so I can see there. So it hopefully explains the kind of thing, or the kind of process you have to go to enter that competition. And I believe the actual draw of the winner will take place this Wednesday. during our Learning Services Facebook Live event. That's correct, isn't it, guys?
I think it's next Wednesday.
Next
Yes,
Wednesday, so I'm not correct. But again, it's all on the website there, so you should be able to see that, get the information that you need. So I can see some of you guys have joined us, so that's great. So again, welcome to USW, welcome to USW Careers. If you've got any questions during the course of this about what we can offer, how to book in with us, or how we can assist you, do feel free to add any questions you might have to the chat in the chat box below. So should we go on to look at how USW Careers can help you throughout your time during your studies and also beyond as well? So Al, do you mind if I hand over to you to talk about the kind of makeup of the team and what we offer? Would that be okay?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so we said me and Dave are kind of careers advisors. So you might see us in a one-to-one appointment, and we're offering one-to-one appointments via Teams now and telephone. And again, you can book appointments via AZO. Appointments normally last about 30 minutes. And like we said, we're happy to have a chat about anything careers related. So like we said, if you're interested in maybe looking at, job search, what kind of jobs are out there, maybe you're looking for part-time jobs now. If maybe you want some advice on your career journey, what can you do with your degree, what options are available to you. We can also offer you, help with checking CVs. So, now's a great time to kind of look at that CV and kind of look about how you're going to sell your skills to employers. So again, we can help you in lots of different ways in one-to-one interviews. Also mock interviews we also do within the half an hour appointment slot. So if you are having an interview, maybe for a part-time job or any other kind of job or voluntary experience you might be going for, then you can definitely book in a mock interview with us. So that's a little bit about what we do in a one-to-one appointment. Bex, do you want to explain a little bit more about your role and what you do?
Okay, so being an employability advisor, we tend to deliver or help you with your employability more in curriculum. So you'll probably see me delivering workshops around how to put your CV together, a bit of interview technique, application forms, those kind of lovely workshops. So it'll be myself and my colleague Nicola Robinson, who works in other faculties. We deliver employability to you in the curriculum, whereas the careers advisors, you'll see them mainly in your one-to-one appointments.
We also kind of help deliver kind of workshops within the curriculum, but also as well, we've got some great webinars going on as well over the term that you can sign up for. And I know, Bex, you've done quite a lot of webinars over the summer, interviews, applications, LinkedIn. So again, keep an eye out on our website and also kind of Careers Connect, where all the events will be listed. So yeah, so all the events we have are on our website.
Perfect. And there's the website there that Helen's brought up. So all the events are listed there, and also news and all the other resources as well. So perfect. I mean, we're aware, aren't we, guys? Obviously, this year is different to any other year that we've been through, but also any other year that students have been through as well. But we would hope to reassure you that the services that we offer are still ongoing. We offer almost the exact same kind of service, but obviously it's just from a virtual perspective. And then we are here to support you. So if you and that goes, I think, for all learning services or any support services across the university. If you do have concerns about how this current situation could affect your career, or you have concerns about your university journey and so on, I'd strongly recommend that you either connect with ourselves or you connect with the other support services that are out there, whether that's study skills, whether that's disability and dyslexia service, whether that's a library service or whoever it might be. So I hope the message that we can get across from this session is that, we want to help you, and we can still do that from a virtual perspective as well as having done it previously in person. Hopefully at some point we will get to do it in person, but at the moment, we've gone virtual. So there's ourselves. So Alison talked about the careers advice side of things. Bex talked about the role that she does in regards to webinars and so on. There are also other aspects of the team as well, which is we have a work placement element to our team, who may be able to assist you during your studies in regards to securing a placement if you have to do that as part of your degree. And we also have our enterprise team as well, who specifically specialize within those of you, or helping those of you that may want to be more entrepreneurial or set up your own business or work for yourself or so on. And Go Wales also. You're going to say something now, or are you going to?
Yeah. So again, Go Wales. So if maybe you feel that you need kind of extra support, maybe you're looking for work experience, and is it 25 and under? Then you might be able to get support from Go Wales. They do have a kind of criteria that you would have to go through to make sure that you're suitable. But yes, we also have our Go Wales colleagues who can support you.
Perfect. So, and also a shout out to, as I said, Helen behind the scenes and the team that does our website and puts our vacancies out there as well. So we've also got Helen, Lynn, and Sharon, who also do a huge amount of work to make our lives easier also. So you may not speak to them, but they're also assisting you in their own virtual way as well. So that's just hopefully a brief overview of what we are as a service, and in terms of what our service consists of. The question you might be asking yourselves, and we may have touched upon this briefly, is why should you even speak to us? Well, first of all, I'd say it doesn't cost you anything. It's free. So, it's value for money straight away. And secondly, as I said before, I would say it's in your interest. So if there's any kind of support that is available to you throughout university, I'd recommend that you take hold of it and you run with it, really. So the support is there to assist you. And also, I know it's a long way away, but even after you graduate, you can still access, and we can still support you post-graduation as well through USW Careers. So as I said before, it might be that it's a part-time job, it might be getting your CV sorted, it might be that you just have general career-based questions, it might be that you want to attend a webinar about a specific subject. All of those sorts of things are available to you guys to access. And we'll come on in a second in terms of how you can access those, and we'll have a quick look at the website in a bit more detail. But should we look at how you actually go about booking with us first of all? So how do you actually get to speak to us if you choose to? Again, it is up to you. We're not going to force you to come and have an interview or chat with us. It's completely your call. But if you make the correct call to book in to see us, and you actually want to book an appointment, the easiest thing to do, first of all, is to go to our main careers website, which is just southwales.ac.uk/careers. And on the homepage there's just a section about booking an appointment. That section should then hopefully guide you through the process that you have to go to actually book that appointment. It will take you through to a system called AZO, which is Advice Zone Online, and you basically book the appointment through Advice Zone Online. So you might find an appointment with my name next to it, or Bex's name, or Alison's name, or any of our other colleagues, and you can just quite simply book that appointment, whether that's a Teams appointment or a video appointment, or if you prefer a telephone appointment as well. So the process of booking should hopefully be fairly straightforward, and we aim to put appointments in throughout the duration of the working week. So there should normally be appointments, hopefully, from Monday to Friday at most points, either in the morning or the afternoon during those days. If you have any difficulties in booking appointments, obviously there are certain times where we're busier, and certain times where there's more demand for appointments. Then do feel free to email careers@southwales.ac.uk, and it may be that we can put an appointment in for you if it's urgent, or if there isn't current availability. So the kind of things, as Alison touched on before, to talk about during those appointments, it's what you want to bring to the table. Obviously career related, but anything that you have career question wise, interview wise, CV checks, assessment centres, looking for jobs, looking for a placement, whatever it might be. Anything else they might talk about in appointments, guys? I can't think.
Yeah, I think those are the main things, really, isn't it? But again, like we said, it doesn't matter where you are. So even if you make an appointment and say, I really don't know where I want to go, I'm not quite sure what careers are open to me, it's absolutely fine. Don't feel that you have to book an appointment with specific questions that you want to ask us, or that you've got to have some kind of direction. We're happy to talk to you and help you navigate your journey wherever you might be. I think. Sorry, carry on, Dave.
I was just going to
Yeah.
say as well. I mean, if you don't want to speak to us in person, in inverted commas, you know, we're not going to be offended. But we do also offer what's called our Ask a Question service as well. So that if you prefer to post a question to us, or you prefer to get your CV checked via the system, so that you get written feedback, you can do that via the same booking page on the careers websites. But there's just a box for Ask a Question. So it might be that you have a specific career-based question. It might be, as I said, that you just want to attach your CV and say, can you check this or review this and so on. So that service is also available to you as well. Should it be that you don't have the time for an appointment, or should it be that you prefer just to, you know, have that written feedback as a way of communication instead. That's all about appointments. Is there anything I've missed there with appointments, guys, or anything obvious or glaring that I haven't mentioned there?
Welcome.
I guess it's when you kind of book appointments, there is like an inquiry and notes box. So again, if there's any particular questions that you would like to ask us, you can put some notes in that box as well. Also, as well, if you would like a telephone appointment, you know, please put in your telephone number, so at least we can phone you.
We could just try and guess your number, but that doesn't always work as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is always my go-to. Yes, telephone number helps.
But I think that's probably everything about appointments.
So appointments is one of the main things that we as advisors offer throughout the week. But obviously during this time as well, as you start your studies, you may get to see some of us in the virtual classroom as well. So it may be that as part of your modules, that we've actually engaged with your lecturers and they've asked us to come in and talk to you guys via virtual sessions also. So it may be that that when you commence your modules that we're invited into what's called a Blackboard Collaborate session. And again, it might be that we choose to, or that we're asked to talk about a certain topic that your lecturers asked us to research for your specific cohort also. So we work, I suppose, individually on a one-to-one basis with students, but we also work with students within the curriculum also. If your lecturer hasn't asked us to come in, then just tell your lecturer to ask us, and we can obviously engage with your cohorts if we don't have that engagement in place at the moment already. We touched upon the webinars briefly, Bex. Are the webinars ongoing throughout this term as well? The standalone webinars that you're offering?
Yes, the plan is to run a series of webinars in the autumn term. So these will comprise of CVs, applications, interview technique, especially digital interviews, because obviously lots of interviews nowadays are not face-to-face. Well, they are, but they're live. So we can help you, you know, top tips around video interviews, how to get your LinkedIn profile up to scratch if you haven't got one. You don't know where to start, we run a webinar around that. And I think we've got one coming up around graduate schemes as well, which I think is the 8th of October. So tune in for that one if you want to know more about graduate schemes.
And how do they book onto those webinars, Bex? Have we mentioned that?
Did we mention Careers Connect? Everything, all the events are hosted on Careers Connect. So if you want to if you're not sure where that is or how to find it, head on over to our Careers webpage. You'll see a little icon or a button on there saying Careers Connect. If you click on that, it'll take you to a dashboard where you'll see lots of events that are coming up that you can book onto, and the webinars will be listed onto. Oh, Helen's going to take us there and show us. So as you can see on the Careers webpage there, you've got the button for Careers Connect. Once you click onto that, it is a single sign-on, so the system will recognise you as a student. You just sign in there, and you'll be taken to a landing page, your dashboard, where you'll be able to see sort of part-time jobs, etc., listed on there, and any events coming up. We also have employers coming onto campus, what we call Employer in the Foyer, and obviously our webinars will be listed on there as well.
Perfect, thanks, Bex. Should we just give a quick shout out to, I can see a few guys who said hello, so I think it's only polite to say hello back. So hi Saeed, hi Tony, hi Nodas. Thanks for joining us this morning. Hope you're finding it useful and beneficial. And as I said, if you do have any questions, just feel free to post those in the chat box and we'll answer those as we go along. So we've hopefully covered appointments, looked briefly at webinars, and looked at how we can obviously work within the curriculum as well. Should we go back and have a quick look at the careers website in a bit more detail, just to show you again the resources that we've got available to you and how they can assist you throughout your studies as well. So the careers website, I'd say, is probably a good first port of call, really, in terms of either booking an appointment with us or just to get general advice and guidance about whether it's CVs, interviews, or whatever it might be. So southwales.ac.uk/careers. And on that page, you can see at the moment the top banner that changes on a regular basis, and that tends to change when we've got showcase events taking place. Or at the moment, you can see that it's detailing and advertising the Capture Your Career competition. So another quick shout out for that competition. Again, just do your hashtag, take a photograph of your career, hashtag, go check again, USW Capture 2020. Tag us into that post, and you could win up to £500 worth of IT kits if you do that as well. So make sure you enter that competition. So the banner, as I said, just details what we've got coming up, main events and so on. The type of main events that we've done previously, obviously things may be slightly different this year in regards to the current situation, but previously we'd advertise events via this banner, such as what we call our futures events, which are employer-based events, any kind of career fairs that we have taking place, as Bex mentioned, employer and foyer type events and so on. They'll also be listed on the events tag, the events heading just further on down the page also. So keep an eye on the top banner to see what's going on within the departments. We also have on the careers homepage a link to our social media feeds. So you can see there we've got a link to our LinkedIn, our Facebook, our Twitter, and also our Instagram. I'd recommend that you follow us on all those platforms because we love getting new followers. But also, I mean, particularly in regards to, I mean, you may be more familiar with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, but I'd also recommend you check out LinkedIn also, because LinkedIn is primarily about looking at professional opportunities or putting your professional self out there via social media. And we post and repost a lot of vacancies, opportunities, events and so on via our LinkedIn page as well. So we have our own LinkedIn page, which I think is probably just USW Careers. Might have to check on that. But follow us on there and keep an eye on any things that we're posting via LinkedIn also. And as Beck said, if you're unfamiliar with things like LinkedIn, we do webinars throughout the year which look at how to actually get your LinkedIn profile up to scratch, make sure it's professional and so on. LinkedIn's a really good way just to actually start, searching for opportunities and also to increase your network as well. So I think Hella's just trying to load the LinkedIn page. Maybe LinkedIn's having a meltdown at the moment. Oh, brace yourselves. Here we come. Oh, no. We can see if it comes up in a second. But we've got lots of social media platforms. Again, you can see what's on there at the moment, and you can engage with us that way as well, hopefully. Also on our website, we've touched upon Careers Connect, which is where you can book in for webinars or to see our events coming up and so on. But we also have a link to My Career, which is the green tab, which is just Careers, just above Careers Connect there. So My Career is another platform that we have, which basically has a huge amount in regards to resources, additional help, additional guidance, and so on. Careers Connect is where you're more likely to find events, vacancy opportunities, and so on. Further down on the careers websites, if you want a starting point before you book an appointment with us, we've got a number of tabs underneath how we can help. And that details additional content in regards to whether it's job interviews, putting together your CV, whether it's student enterprise information, or so on. So underneath, for example, the personal promotion tab, there's information on there for things like CVs, cover letters, etc., etc. So if you're looking to book an appointment with us, what we probably recommend that you do maybe initially is maybe have a look at some of the content on our websites. which will give you a grounding in terms of how to put together that sort of content, and then you might want to refine it via an appointment, or you might want us to check it via an appointment in that way instead. The other resources on our websites, if you go back to the previous page, Hal, before that, there are things such as information about looking for job opportunities and so on. It may be the case that a lot of you guys at the moment are considering looking for a part-time job. Obviously, there's a bit of a question mark at the moment in terms of how much opportunity is going to be out there at the moment. But any part-time jobs or any further opportunities that may allow you to actually build experience and so on, again, we have lots of resources that you can access via our websites. So some vacancies will be advertised via Careers Connect. Other opportunities may be advertised via those more generic, well-known websites, which are also detailed on that page as well. Any advice, guys, for a student looking for a part-time job or gaining experience during their studies? Anything that they should be doing? What do you think, Al or Bex?
Yeah, I think also as well, if you're looking for part-time jobs, it's worth reaching out to employers. So, for example, often with kind of, if you're looking to work in shops, often it might be worthwhile asking if they would accept speculative CVs, rather than waiting to see if they've got opportunities advertised. So I would definitely kind of be proactive in your approach rather than just looking at what's advertised. Also, what you might find is coming up to Christmas, often there can be opportunities which are temporary. We're working over the kind of Christmas period. So again, it's looking at organisations, companies that might be looking for kind of part-time staff. Often, again, with retail, often they take on temporary staff over that kind of period. So I think it's being proactive as well. Yeah, perfect. Rather than just looking.
Yeah, I'd add to that and just say ask family and friends as well. Sometimes, your own network will know of opportunities out there that may not be advertised as in out there. So check out your family and friends as well. They may know somewhere that's looking for someone.
Perfect. Okay, sorry guys. The other thing, that I suppose a lot of new starter students or first years, thinking about the kind of questions we get asked, a lot of the questions are about, how I can get a part-time job to support my studies. But a lot of you at this point, not all of you, but a lot of you may just not know what you want to do, or may not have any particular kind of like definite career direction at the moment. And that's absolutely fine. Again, it's not something to be, terrified about or worried about at the moment. But again, I'd go back to say that we're here to support you with that. But it may be that you start doing a bit of pre-research at this stage to help starting plan or think about the kind of career direction that you want to go in. There are a few additional sites that you might want to look at just as a starting point, which again might enable you to prep for any kind of careers appointment that you intend to book in the future. There's websites like Prospects. So I know Al and I'm sure Bex as well, use Prospects quite regularly. So Prospects is a website which is aimed specifically at students and graduates, and it has a huge amount of career-based information, both job profiles, vacancy information about further study, and so on. But there's also a section on Prospects called What Job Would Suit Me, which allows you to really just, explore how your skill set, your personality, your interests kind of relate to the types of jobs that you might want to go for. Have you used that before? I thought you look like you're going to say
Prospects Planner. The Prospects Planner.
Yeah.
And often as well, what I would recommend is, if you have no ideas what to do and you're not quite sure where to start, often doing the Prospects Planner can be a really good starting point. And often then that could be something that you can bring to a careers interview, and it's often quite a good starting point then to have conversations. Sometimes I think students are surprised by what's come top. Maybe careers that they might have thought they would want to go into have come lower down, and that's quite good then, because it gives us something to talk about and think about what these roles actually involve. To start really unpicking why maybe those careers are in that order for you. So yes, I would definitely recommend having a look at the Prospects Planner. Also,
sorry, I was going to say just brief. It's not prescriptive though. So if it says it no one this, don't feel that you have to there.
No, exactly. But it gives you some ideas, and also as well, there's a really good section on what I can do with my degree.
Yeah.
So again, that's really useful. So, for example, there might be careers that have come up that you haven't even kind of thought about, that maybe you want to find out more about. So, yeah, definitely have a look at what I can do with my degree as well.
So that's
really
prospects.ac.uk, and there's a tab at the top which will take you through to what job would suit me and so on. So again, a bit of pre-planning or a bit of pre-research, potentially before a careers appointment might help you in terms of just the direction of discussion and so on. There's a question from Saeed about can we look for a part-time job if it's our first year? Al, do you want to answer that, or shall I?
Absolutely. Yes, of course you can. Yeah. You can look for a part-time job during any time within your studies.
Yeah, and I think it's personal choice, I suppose, isn't it? I mean, it depends why you want the job. If it's to get experience, and I probably recommend that you do that as soon as you possibly can, really. It might be, I suppose, that you wait until you get your timetable for your studies. Maybe you have that already, so you know exactly when your lectures are going to fall and so on. But again, there might be a bit more flexibility with the virtual world at the moment. But yeah, I think, if you get a part-time job even now, even if it's just to help you financially, it will also give you a huge amount of experience, and all that experience is what employers will be looking for when you come to apply for graduate jobs in the future. So if you start doing that part-time job in the first year, you're going to have a huge amount of experience by the time you get to your final year as well. In addition to that, obviously, you can potentially get work experience and so on. And we touched upon, some of you might have to do that as part of your studies. You might have to do that as part of your actual course itself. But also, should we go back and just mention about the Go Wales team again, just briefly? Because again, I think that's quite an important resource that we have here that might be useful to a lot of you guys who may be viewing this. Is that if you feel slightly anxious or slightly nervous about the idea of getting experience or making yourself employable, it may be that the Go Wales team can help you with that. So you can either go to gowales.co.uk, which is their main website, and that will detail what Go Wales offer and how they can assist you. So they basically work with students on a more long-term basis in terms of looking for experience and so on, but there's a lot more support in place. Or you can also go to the section on our website, which I think is about work experience, isn't it, guys? I think.
Yeah, I think it's under the work experience tab.
And underneath there, I think there's links to the advisors, to Go Wales advisors for each faculty and so on. Okay, great. So I think Hal's bringing it up now. So experience your future. And I think, there's Go Wales work experience support there. Yeah, that's right. So details there. There are certain requirements that you have to meet to work with Go Wales, but if you meet some of those requirements, they can work with you. But I'd recommend if you have, as I said, any kind of questions about maybe, or you're maybe slightly concerned about, getting experience or putting yourself out there, I'd recommend that you reach out to Go Wales, and then they can decide whether or not they're able to work with you or not. But if they are, they can offer a huge amount of support in terms of securing a placement for you and so on. So the contact details, I think Helen's brought up there, relate to the different faculties. So just have a look at the faculties where your course resides, and then you can reach out to the advisor if you need to.
Can I just ask, someone's asking a question, no doubt, going back to the prospects page, and can you repeat where the tab is that identifies what can you do with your degree?
Sure. Hal, are you able to bring up prospects.ac.uk? Because off the top of my head, I can't remember what tab it sits under.
I think it's under
careers
choice.
Advice, isn't it?
Yeah, I think if you go to career choice, I think it comes up there under career choice. So it's the second tab along there, Helen. How can I?
So if you go to prospects, sorry, Al, sorry.
I can't see that. Is that? Is it on that tab? I can't see that.
Let's see what's loading up. What I can do, I might disappear myself a second, but I can have a look on here.
I think it's under the career choice tab.
So it's prospects.ac.uk. There's a tab called Careers Advice, and then there's a section on there called What Can I Do with My Degree? And on prospects.ac.uk for what job would suit me, that's under the Jobs and Work Experience tab. which is the first tab at the top of the page. There you go. So Hal's brought that up now. So there's what job would suit me. And then underneath the third one along careers advice, that's where you'd find the what can I do with my degree. So it lists like a whole host of different degree choice. Again, it's not completely prescriptive. So again, don't necessarily look under that tab and think, okay, these are the only career choices I have. But it might give you some ideas in terms of, typically what direction students might choose to go in when they do that sort of degree choice. So hopefully that answers your question. Hopefully that is okay. Bex, do you want to talk a little bit about the GradEdge Award? Do you want to tell the guys about that? Yeah,
sure. The GradEdge Award. For those that haven't heard about GradEdge, it is USW's Employability Award. It's undergone a little bit of a makeover over the summer, and it's basically now help you. It's a program to help you sort of demystify and navigate your way through the recruitment process. So it's sort of five steps, if you like. And Helen's brought up the web page for you, the GradEdge web page. So it's going to help you put a great CV together and test your CV through a resource called CV 360. So this will give you instant feedback on the format and structure of your CV. Fantastic tool. We've got some resources there to help you put a cover letter together. We've got resources to help you with applications, interviews. We've got an interview simulator called Interview 360, which is almost like an interview bot, if you like. You'll go into a virtual room, you'll be given a mock interview, and you will get instant feedback on not just the way that you answer the questions, but about your body language, your eye contact, all these kind of important things that maybe you're not aware about at interview. Then, as Dave mentioned about LinkedIn, a fantastic place to start your networking, start building your professional brand, and to start building up those networks with other professionals in your field. If you're not sure how to put a LinkedIn profile together, in the GradEdge Award, we've got a fantastic resource, how to, taking you through the stages, how to start building your LinkedIn profile and how to maximize that profile as well. And just to say, obviously, we have webinars that can support that. So whilst you're going through the award, we'll also have webinars throughout the autumn term to help you at each stage of the award as well. And that will be the award. That's the award in a nutshell. So it's just to help you with the recruitment process.
So I suppose it's something that they could consider doing, Bex, if they're looking to reflect upon what their skill set is or make themselves more employable potentially and so on.
Absolutely. And it doesn't matter whether you're going for a part-time job, you want to brush up on your CV for volunteering, or if you've got a graduate scheme coming up, or you're just not sure of how the recruitment process works, then the award will help you sort of get your ducks in a row and will help demystify the recruitment process and what's expected of you to get to that all-important interview.
It's always important to get your ducks in a row.
Yep.
So hopefully so far what we talked about. So we talked about booking appointments. We've talked about hopefully how we can help you in terms of what we offer in appointments. We've looked at webinars, so standalone webinars that we offer that you can book via Careers Connect. We've touched upon how we might see you within the curriculum itself. We've touched upon Go Wells. We've talked about GradEdge. We've mentioned the competition, which I know Helen's given us a 3-line whip to mention again, so I'll mention it again. So our competition, which is Capture Your Career. So take a photograph that represents your career goal. Oh, look, there it is on the screen already. Hashtag USW Capture 2020 when you do that, and then tag USW Careers. So you can do that via whichever social media platform that we're on, so we get the tag. And you could win up to £500 worth of IT kit if you do that as well. So I'd recommend that you do that. It's just a photograph. Why not? So do that as well. So I mentioned all those things. The thing, I suppose, which we haven't gone into as much detail about is enterprise. So I know that Student Enterprise are doing a separate webinar, I believe, or Facebook Live, next week, I think next Monday. I'll very briefly touch upon what the Student Enterprise team do and also how they can potentially assist you as well. Student Enterprise is part of USW Careers, so they're part of our team. Basically, if any of you guys are considering freelancing, setting up your own business, working for yourself, if you've got a business idea, whatever it might be from an entrepreneurial perspective, then the Student Enterprise team can assist you with that as well. So what they do, again, they do lectures within the curriculum, but they also do one-to-one appointments, and they also put on quite a variety of different events throughout the year as well. In fact, the Student Enterprise team recently won an award for one of their events that they put on this summer. So I'm now going to refer to them as our award-winning enterprise team. I've been told to say that as well. No, I haven't. But they do lots of things, again, that can assist you if you're looking at potentially working for yourself. So one-to-one appointments, I think on the page that Helen's brought up here, you book an appointment typically with Student Enterprise just by emailing them at enterprise@southwales.ac.uk. But they also, events-wise, they do lots of events from a commencing your freelancing journey. They do pitching events where you can bid to get funding for your business idea. They can assist you with helping put together your business plan and so on. So if you're looking at potentially working for yourself or freelancing, or if you feel that you're quite entrepreneurial, then I'd also recommend that you consider reaching out to them or at least attending some of the events that they offer throughout the year also. Probably particularly important for any faculty, but especially, I suppose, for faculty of creative industries, for those of you who are who typically would have to go in a freelancing direction for your careers. Make sure that you make contact with the Student Enterprise team. And on the website there, it details everything that they offer and how they can assist you if you want to go down that journey. Mentioned events, haven't we? So we've briefly touched on events that we put on throughout the year. So that changes as well. So we have things like futures events, careers fairs, and so on, webinars, etc. Anything that we haven't mentioned, guys? Anything that I've missed, which is glaringly obvious that we haven't touched upon?
Dave, Al, we've got a question from Bradley.
Oh, there you go.
Asking, hi Bradley. As a final year student, when would be a good time to start applying for jobs? Okay.
Shall I take? Well, I'll start with this. Al, you can chip in if needs be.
Yeah, you can. Okay.
It depends on the type of direction or type of career you're interested in, Bradley. I mean, what you'll find is that if you're looking at potentially doing a graduate scheme, which is still a graduate job, but it's like a 2-year, almost like a training program where you train towards a particular career, then a lot of those graduate schemes will be able to apply to probably from this month onwards, really, throughout the autumn. So those types of graduate schemes have a longer lead-in time to the application. So a lot of them are advertised round about this time of year. And that might be with places like, I think you were saying earlier on, Al, weren't you, in a previous meeting about the civil service advertising this week. But they might be schemes with larger employers, so larger multinational, international organizations. It might be that you apply for a graduate scheme within, say, marketing. You apply in September, and then you go through the application process, and then you hopefully, if you get offered it, you start that position the following summer. So graduate schemes will be able to apply to now. Are we going to chip in there?
Yeah, I was going to say, what you'll find is a lot of the graduate schemes, they are opening now, and often they have a very short window for you to apply. So often they can open this month and they might close next month. So you need to be if you are interested in graduate schemes, you need to be looking out for them now. And I think it's because often they're done on a national basis. They have a one yearly intake. And often because there's quite a lot of stages to the recruitment process, you might have to do psychometric tests, you might have to have a virtual interview, often an assessment centre. Often the process can take quite a long time. So that's often why they tend to open quite early. So with graduate schemes, you said you do need to look early. But that's just graduate schemes, isn't it, Dave? What you'll find is smaller employers or other employers who maybe don't have a recruitment process that happens yearly, they might advertise as and when they need to take on graduates. So that could be any time really during the whole of your final year. Often smaller companies, you'll find they're probably closer, aren't they, to the summer, probably March, April time, would you say, Dave?
Yeah, I'd probably think about it from, if it's not a graduate scheme, so if it's a graduate job and they're looking for someone for an immediate start, think about how long the application process takes. So I'd probably, typically, I suppose, are maybe 2 to 3 months from when they advertise the vacancy to when someone's in position. So if you work back from when you finish your course, so you might finish your course in June time, I guess. If you work back 3 months from there, which I guess probably takes you around to about, Easter or, early springtime, then you might start looking for graduate jobs around about that sort of time, really. You don't want to apply for a graduate job now, which basically says we need to start next week because you're still doing your degree, obviously. Yeah. So graduate jobs, I'd probably give it maybe a 3-month lead in between where they advertise to when they'd actually want someone to be in place. That's about right.
I'd say that's about right. What I would also say though is book an appointment with us, because what you'll find is a lot of the kind of graduate schemes, the recruitment process can be quite long, and you need to put together a really kind of robust, excellent application. So again, like we said, we can check applications, we can help you through the whole kind of recruitment process. So yeah, we're here to support you with all the kind of recruitment.
And those vacancies as well, about where you actually find those opportunities. Obviously our vacancy system is Careers Connect. So there'll be a lot of vacancies on that system that you can access. Some of those will be graduate jobs. Some of those will be schemes. Some of them might be part-time jobs. Some of them might be voluntary work. But there's lots of opportunities via that system. If it was a graduate scheme that you wanted to look at this stage, so September, October time, then typically you'd probably look at websites like Prospects or Milk Round, Target Jobs, and so on, or the page of the employer that you're interested in working for, as well as platforms like LinkedIn. LinkedIn will have a lot of vacancies advertised as well, and if you type in the type of job you're interested in on LinkedIn, it'll bring up opportunities that way as well. But there's a lot of content, again, I think on the jobs section on our websites. I keep forgetting all the sections on our website, of course, but it's find a job or whatever it might be. There's a section on there for graduate jobs, and that lists some of the typical sorts of opportunities or typical platforms that you can use to look for jobs. There's also a link on our website which explains things like graduate schemes. Hell, if you go back to the homepage on the careers website, just because I can't remember, if you scroll down very briefly, just to the how we can help you bit. So jobs and career choice. If you click through to jobs and career choice, I think we looked at this maybe briefly earlier on, but then there's a section underneath there, which is job search. And then from job search, there's graduate jobs. So graduate jobs on the left-hand side. And I'm pretty sure there's an article or information on there, as you can see, for graduate schemes. And I think that links to an external website, which is a website and also an app called Debut, which details exactly what a graduate scheme is, how they're different to graduate jobs and so on. There's also lots of sites on there, different apps you can download to look for opportunities and so on. So you might want to have a look at that page, Bradley, as well, just in regards to exploring your options or where to find those vacancies. The other part of the website you might want to look at as well is we have a section called subject links, which is in the process of being changed, but it's still obviously live at the moment. And the subject links page, I'm not sure what subject you're doing, Bradley. I don't think you put that in the question, but that's okay. Underneath the subject links page, you can find your degree area. So subject links is again under jobs and career choice, so it's there in the bottom left-hand corner. At the moment, it's categorized by faculty, so you would choose the faculty that you're currently sitting under. And then within that faculty area, there's a list of all different subject areas. And underneath those, there's then a list of more specific or niche or targeted sites where you're more likely to find specific jobs to your sector. So So there are lots of places where you can find opportunities, but I suppose the main ones are probably going to be the larger sites, like things like Prospects and Target Jobs, and also our platform. But if you want a more niche search, then maybe look at some of the sites underneath the different faculty categories here as well. Have I missed anything there, guys? I hopefully don't think I have.
No, all covered.
All covered.
All covered.
On the money. Hopefully that answers your question, Bradley. I don't think we've got any further questions from what I can see, but thanks, guys, who've answered questions this morning. So I just reiterate really the fact that, you know, our service is here to help you and to support you at whatever stage you might be within your career progression, whether that's having no idea what you want to do, whether you've got a clear idea but you just don't know how to approach it, whether you need to make yourself more employable, how you go about doing that, whether you just need help with your CV, whether you need to have a mock interview, or whether you want more information about our webinars, our Grad Edge Awards, or the events that we do. So all the kind of resources or services that we offer, find out more about them via the careers website, southwales.ac.uk/careers. Do book in to speak to us. Again, it's not a 3-line whip. We're not going to come and find you to make sure you book in. It is up to you, but we strongly recommend that you do, because we're here to help you. We're here to support you. If you don't have time to book in with us, hopefully we'll see you within the curriculum. Maybe you'll attend some of our webinars, or maybe you'll send us a question via AZO, via our Ask a Question service instead. We want to help you succeed. We'd love to talk to you. So do engage with us if you feel it's going to be in your interest, which we hope it will be. Anything else there, guys, that you want to add?
Dave, can I just say that Bradley's come back? He's actually for a grad scheme in electronics engineering. He has some companies already in mind. Would it be better to apply directly with them, or can he apply through the uni? Now, I was going to mention GradCracker. I don't know if you want to talk about GradCracker.
GradCracker is a great site for you to look at. Is it gradcracker.com, Bex? I can't quite remember the domain. But if you go into GradCracker, it will basically categorize all areas of engineering. And underneath those, you know, so it's whether aeronautical or mechanical or civil, other types of engineering. It will detail the different types of engineering, and then it will showcase what types of companies or schemes are available within that specific area. What I would recommend that you do, Bradley, is I'd recommend that you book in to speak to the advisor of your faculty, which is Ruth
Morgan. Yeah.
So Ruth will like that. So Ruth Morgan will be offering appointments throughout this term, because she typically will work with students from your subject area or your degree area, and she'll have more of a more specific understanding of the types of vacancies that are out there available to you. You can reach out to employers, of course, there's no harm in doing that, but it may be that if it's a very large employer, you know, if it's a multinational employer, or, you know, someone who's got sites throughout the world, they're more likely just to point you back towards their vacancy system, or to apply directly via either their website or via the platforms we mentioned before, whether that's via GradCracker, Prospects, or so on. Anything else there, guys? I'm not the advisor to your faculty, sorry, Bradley. So again, you might have to check with Ruth for a bit more information.
Yeah.
Anything else there, guys? All good?
Good.
All good. Thanks, Bradley, for your question. I think that's all that we're going to cover today. We are just short of an hour. I think we kind of thought we were going to be talking for half an hour, but we've talked for almost an hour. So hopefully that gives you an insight in terms of how we can help. Go to the website, engage with us, follow us on social media, enter our competition, which is again on the screen. And hopefully, you'll get a lot from the service and the help that we can offer you throughout your studies. And good luck with your studies. Enjoy it. It will be a bit different initially, at least, but enjoy it. And hopefully, I'm sure you will have a great time at USW. Thanks,
we look forward
guys.
to meeting you all.
Yeah.
We do very much. Maybe
Look
in person
in.
at some point. Thanks, guys. Cheers, Hal. Behind the scenes.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.